Hello, everybody. My name is Ruham Manzoor, and welcome to another episode of Study Abroad with Maces. Today, we have with us, continuing on our Japanese week, today we have with us Mr. Kiyoshi Takeda from Kyoto University of Advanced Sciences. How are you, Mr. Takeda?
Great. Great. How are you, Mr. Manzo?
We are good. I'm in Toronto, where right now the temperature is showing minus 21 degrees Celsius. I had to take my dog out for a walk, and yeah, it wasn't very pleasant. um,
Yeah, yeah. You win, and I was about to say, it's very cold in Japan right now. But since you were saying that you win, I lose, and it's all.
how cold is it? What is the temperature there?
It is 1 degree Celsius in Japan, so nothing for you.
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, 1 degree is. So, by
Quite
the
quite.
way, do you is it snowing or anything? Like, is does it snow often?
Yes, a lot light snow every day. You can expect in the sunshine as well. I'm very busy. Light snow, great sunshine.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's always a pleasure to meet you because most of the students from Bangladesh are usually interested in engineering courses,
Mhm.
and you are our only and first solid engineering program in Japan. So I'm really happy to promote KUAS amongst our students because this is a really and the best thing about is such a unique program the way it is designed. So that makes it very attractive as well.
Yes, yes, and thank you very much, and thank you very much. Obviously, we welcome any application from Bangladesh to our program, because our program is the one and the only program that you can find in terms of our combination of mechanical, electrical, and computer sciences. Listeners, you may be surprised if I say that you can learn all these important aspects of engineering, the combination of mechanical, electrical, and computer science in just one program. Unlike traditional schools, you don't have to choose one of them. Actually, KUS can offer you an opportunity to learn all of them on our program.
This is something very very unique, I think, to KUAS. So those of you who might not have caught it, so KUAS has designed the engineering program in a way that you don't have to necessarily be specialized in one specific course or path, but you can actually custom make your engineering degree based on your interests. So you could have components of mechanical and electronic, you can have components of computer engineering and electronic. So it's like, you can pretty much custom make your degree based on your interests, and so that is something very very unique to KUAS. But it's a 4-year program. I think, best thing to do, Mr. Takeda, is we can maybe start with a presentation.
Sure.
You give the presentation, and then after 10-15 minutes, once it's done, we can have a question and answer session, or I can ask you questions that our Bangladeshi students usually ask.
Sure. Okay. Let me start sharing the screen with you now.
Yes.
Just give you a few seconds. Okay. So here we go. Okay, try to make it. Okay. So everyone, once again, my name is Takeda. I work at the Kyoto University of Advanced Science, Japan. Let me walk you through to let you understand who we are, what we do, and where we are in Japan. So Kyoto University of Advanced Science is located in the Kyoto Prefecture, as you see on a map in the green on the right-hand side. KUS is located at the center of Japan, with great access to in two major cities, Osaka, Tokyo, which has also two international airports, very conveniently located. And our history goes way back to over 50 years. And it's a Japanese government accredited private universities. It's located in the Kyoto Prefecture. It has 3,600 students, the five faculties, and with programs offered, and including a brand new faculty of engineering. And last year we had 7 U.S. students, or seven students from the United States enrolled on our program, and one Canadian students also. And the European students are, we are hosting now 3 European students also. They are from Sweden, Bulgaria, Poland. So our engineering program has, yes, majority of the students that come from Asian side, including Bangladesh. At the same time, we have U.S. students, also European students, as you just saw just now, And the quality-wise, KUS partner with Ohio State University, also Tafutsu University in the United States, because we recognize the highest quality of engineering education. So in other words, you can expect the same high quality of engineering education that you would expect from these U.S. finest universities, like Ohio State University, Tafutsu University. Let me also add that if you are familiar with the South Korea, there is the prestigious university, the most prestigious university here, the Seoul universities. Seoul National University, KUS, also partner with each other for exactly the same reasons, and we recognize the highest quality of engineering education. Just let me introduce the important features of the Faculty of Engineering. Good news for English-speaking Bangladeshi students. Our programs are conducted entirely in the English language, not in the Japanese language. So you don't have to worry about how well you can speak Japanese. You don't have to worry about your Japanese language proficiency, because our program is entirely conducted in English language. Number two, still, once you enrolled, we're gonna give you a lot of great opportunity to learn the Japanese language in a way that is gonna help you find a job opportunity, explore job opportunity with the Japanese technology firms, which is still predominantly Japanese speaking environment. And like Mr. Manzoor and me and previously talking about, our program is very unique in a sense that you can have great flexibilities to choose what to learn from our courses available, depending on your career needs. So as you see on the left-hand side, there are certain fields coursework available at KUS, from automation, computer, electrical, energy engineering, and
Mr.
drawing
Kyoshi,
design.
Mr.
Yes,
Takada, there is a problem because I think you're talking about another screen, another
really.
slide, but we are only seeing the KUAS map. That one is what we are seeing.
Ooh, so it means, so thank you very much for. So it doesn't.
And
Okay.
now I can see the 13 fields in one place.
Okay. So probably I'll stick to this mode so that you
Yes.
can. Okay. So, like I was saying, the students can the students can choose what to learn, how to learn, depending on the students' career needs in the futures. So you can have in other words, again, you can have a great flexibility to choose uh, what to learn at KUS, unlike in traditional engineering schools. And this is what this is called the multidisciplinary engineering program. And to make it simpler, to make the sound simpler, conceptually speaking, our program is going to put computing and data processing at the center of our program, like you see here, and also at the same time, you can have an opportunity to learn the mechanical engineering aspects, also electrical engineering aspects. So by the time you graduate, you be a fluent in, you be a proficient at all these important essential engineering expertise: computing, mechanical, electrical engineering. And the end products, some of the end products you might be interested in and to develop as a graduate from our programs, robots that are controlled by artificial intelligence, or simply you want to become a software program developer, and you may be interested in developing a more sophisticated drones that has already become the one part of the essential devices in our modern engineering world, or over increased sense of a global environment. You are as a full-fledged engineers, and that you might want to create more cost-efficient electric cars by taking advantage of the skills and knowledge that you learn on our program. Okay, so the culmination, the climax of our program is a capstone project, in which you work closely with the professional engineers who works in the industry currently, over 2 years, not just 2 days, not just 2 weeks, over 2 years. Over 2 years, you'll be you having opportunities to work very closely with the professional engineers who work in the real industry in Japan. And you'll be, by learning the issues that these current engineers face in industry, as a student, you are expected to come up with your own solutions for their problem, for their issues, for their feedback for improvement. By doing this over 2 years, and you can immerse yourself in the real industry over 2 years, and you are expected to develop the skills and knowledge that are very practical enough that you'll be stand out in a crowd. And after you graduate from a program, even from the day one you join the company in the real industry. That's how we do in a capstone project. And this is a very unique program. And actually, KUAS is the only schools that successfully offer a capstone project, among the other engineering schools, even in Japan.
That is
A little
actually
bit
a
about
really, really attractive thing. I mean, students are not only studying the academic subject and custom making their degree based on what they want to do, but they also have the ability to work with a company and get some real life experiences with by working in that company. So even that creates an opportunity for long term job later on as well.
Yes, definitely. And you may be, in addition to the capstone project, you may be surprised if I say that the students are also can get an extra internship opportunities. That will be another opportunity for them to expose to real experience in the real industry while in
Right.
college.
Right.
So simply put, our program is a very practical, and I give you a lot of opportunity to students to hone the skills in the field of engineering. Our mission to develop skills and knowledge of the students for them to be successful enough in the real industry after graduation. Okay. So a bit about the tuition cost. The tuition cost is the $14,000 per year. By the way, we ran this program for 4 years. From first year, second year, third year, fourth year, almost the 14, on the average, it costs you the $14,000 per year. The cost of living in Kyoto is $1,000 per month, including housing, food, books, and also travel expenses. And very affordable as you see on the slides. Compared to the tuition cost, UK, US, Australia, Canada, the KUAS tuition cost is already at the lowest level, the most affordable cost levels. So you can be confident about your financial.
I must say something here, because I see that Canada, the tuition fee is quoted as $20,000, but I think if you look at the international tuition fees for most universities, the range, and especially for engineering, actually the range is $26,000 to all the way to $68,000. I think the average engineering cost is about $35,000 to $40,000. For so it is quite expensive, definitely.
Yes, exactly. So KUS has been very successful in reducing the tuition cost up to this level, as KUS is the Japanese government accredited private university. We are qualified to receive. We have been qualified to as a recipient of even government subsidiary. Because of the quality of education we have provided to for a long time students. So entry requirements for undergraduates, yes, we are definitely given the nature of engineering schools, the students are required to have a comprehensive understanding of physics and math, equivalent to a high school level, and post-secondary school level. Algebra, geometry, pre-calculus, statistics, force and motion, waves of electricity, and magnetism, atoms. Those are the fields that you'll be expected to have covered before you enrolled on our program. And the admission criteria for undergraduates, these are the admission criteria, typical admission criteria for undergraduates. Overall, students are expected to have an overall strong GPA and also good track records in the physics and math. Are also notable AP, IB, SAT, or HSC are standardized test scores, and a strong determination to pursue studies at KUS, which is usually reflected in application essays, and a great interview performance if invited, also expected, and a strong character matching with the program goals. Yes, and application documents are quite similar to those are expected at US institutions, the UK institution, or Australian universities. Starting with an ID photo application essay and the transcripts and the certificates of graduation. Also, our SAT, ACT, IB scores also required. Also, HSC scores also are required, and just in order to strengthen candidacy in the STEM fields. And if your first language is not English, or you are required to provide us.
So, Mr. Kyoshi, the SAT is a requirement. So every student has to have an SAT.
For Bangladeshi students, the SAT is not required. But if they have the chance to have taken an SAT, their SAT scores is going to be a great backup for their candidacy for our program.
See, the first question that came actually was that without SAT, is there a good scholarship opportunity? So, that is something that came up.
Okay. That is a great question. That is a question. In terms of scholarships, and we have how to say, we have multiple scales um, to take a look at the candidacy for scholarships, meaning that we are taking everything about any applicants into a careful consideration, including the quality of application essay, academic achievements, are reflected on the transcripts, and also quality of recommendation letters, and also interview performance if they are invited, and also HSC or test score, test result, exam test results. We take everything about applicants into a careful consideration. So
So
SAT
it's not
can
a
be a
mandatory requirement, but it will help in the scholarship if they have a good SAT score.
exactly. They're gonna yes, it's gonna be one of the tools that can impress our professors and for them to make a decision on
The problem is
scholarship
that many
levels.
students in Bangladesh do not, have the fear of SATs, and a lot of them don't appear for SATs because they're not applying to US universities. Because US, of course, in a lot of universities, even in the US, they have waived it actually. And what has complicated things right now is, of course, the availability of the test centers and things. Though, I mean, it is available, but it's not as frequent or as easy as it was at one time.
I see.
Um,
Yes,
the good thing is that if you want to have a scholarship, what you mentioned is, they look at everything. So the essays are very important. The recommendation letter that you get from your teacher, a lot of times we have seen students giving generic recommendation letters, like for example, more like a character certificate that, oh, I know this student, he's of good character and blah blah blah, which is like the same recommendation for most. But I think what Mr. Takeda is mentioning for our students is it needs to be unique to the student, and it needs to bring out their strengths and weaknesses and all that.
yes, exactly. Yeah, that is the main reason that we need to great recommendation letter from one of your teachers, and so that we can see our multiple aspects of one student, and for us to make decisions on the scholarship, but also admission decisions.
Um, so the next question is, oh,
Mhm.
did you want to go through the scholarship slide as well, or
Okay,
yeah,
maybe two more slides.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Two more slides. Yes, if listeners are interested in applying for KUAS, we have multiple application windows. Early entry, regular entry, final entry. And the regular entry, just started on the last year. I mean, just 1 month ago, December 1st, 2021, and it will soon close it on January 14th, 2022. And if you miss it, miss out on these opportunities, you can still have our final entry windows. That will start on February 15th, and that which will close on March 4th. This is going to be the really final round of the application entries for September 2022 intake. Okay. That- Okay, that's an application timeline. And scholarships. If scholarships, and I hope this is going to be the very final slide that I'm talking about today. So KUS scholarships, we are, like I said, in our tuition cost is at almost the lowest level by world standards. So technically speaking, you don't have to worry about your financial capabilities to finance your studies and with us and the KUS for 4 years. But we do, but KUS scholarship programs for highly qualified students, as you see here. If you are entitled, it's you might be entitled to 13% tuition waiver. I mean that you might be entitled to be a recipient of or scholarship in the form of a tuition reduction by 30%, could be 50%, could be 100%. It's up to 4 years, not 2 years. That's the 1 year. Up to 4 years. Up to 4 years. So if you are really think that you're gonna be the best students and among the in the applicants pools from around the world, yes, I'd highly recommend you. I recommend you to apply for KUS as well as the KUS scholarships online very easily. Um, Okay, this is just a perfunctory, but I think that I hope that I have covered the necessary information that I'm supposed to convey to you tonight. I'd let the floor open to your question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Takeda. I think that was very, very helpful in understanding the basics of KUAS. So, just to see if we have listened in, I wanted to summarize. So, first of all, Kyoto University of Advanced Science is a government approved accredited university in Japan that offers only one English language program, which is the engineering track. And the engineering track is multi dimensional in the sense that you don't necessarily have to say I'm going to study mechanical engineering or electrical engineering. As a student develops and goes through the program, they can pick their strengths and what their goal in life is, and tailor make their degree to reflect all the skills necessary to achieve that. So this is a very unique program. The second thing unique about this program is they have a capstone program. So between the fifth and the eighth semester, which is the last 1.5 years, students can spend the entire time at a company or affiliated with a company to help achieve or develop what they initially set out to do, or just get the experience from that company. So this is something really, really unique. The tuition fee is approximately 15,000, 14 to 15,000 US dollars. However, there are some scholarships available. There is 30%, 50%, 100%. And then there is another one, which is the Super KUAS scholarship, where it's full tuition fee and full living expense. In fact, I'm very proud to say one of our students were able to achieve that because he had a very good SAT scores and very, very good results, very good recommendation. So we're very proud of that. So there are all kinds of areas available. But if you want a really unique program, and I must say, one thing we didn't cover today is Japan. A lot of Bangladeshi students don't consider Japan is not a natural destination for many students and not something that many people think about. But really, if you keep an open mind, Japan can be an amazing, amazing experience for you. First of all, it is the third largest economy in the world. It is one of the cleanest and safest countries in the world. Japanese passport consistently ranks as the number one valued passport in the world. I think the valuation is done based on how many countries you can visit and things like that. So it is consistently ranked as one of the top in that area. Our students get 3 to 5 job offers before they graduate. So there is a sure, opportunity after graduation. You can get a job, and also there are other ways of immigration and all that as well, which is open. In fact, there is a problem in Japan, which is the population is reducing, so there is not many young people in many families, and so because of that, as the people get retired or they leave their jobs, there is not enough new blood to fulfill those gaps. So Bangladesh, as a young country, we have a lot of young capable individuals, and by getting a degree from Japan, you can get a line into one of the best career paths that is out there. It's not as easy in the US to get a job and get the H1 and all that. Japan can be a great opportunity for them. In fact, sir, I must say, we've been working with Japanese universities for the past 11 years. So whatever I'm saying now is based on data and history of our previous students. I don't know a single student who has been looking for a job and hasn't found not just one, but 2, 3, 4, 5 job offers before they graduate. So this is something, again, very, very unique. So thank you so much, Mr. Takeda. I'm going to ask some question because, obviously there's a lot of question. A lot of question has to do with scholarships as well. But I think you have answered many of them. What could be an ideal profile of a super KUAS scholarship? Are there any specific requirements for that?
Okay. Thank you very much for great question. Yes, like I was discussing, we don't have any single criteria to make our scholarship decision for any applicants, because we strongly believe in as an educational concept in the whole character development instead of just skill development. Because we are looking for students who are so passionate about engineering and also really willing to develop the engineering skill. At the same time, we are looking for students who strongly believe in strongly believe in the beauty of teamwork, or working with other students, working with the friends, and working with the colleagues, and helping each other. We are just looking for students who are ready to make a great contribution to his team or to their teams all the time, not helping each other. Those are the things that we really look for, or looking into students in finding our students who are entitled, who deserve our KUAS scholarship.
So, just to summarize, you need to be strong in all the areas to be considered for a superstar scholarship. Just to give you an example, the student who got it, he had, of course, 5 out of 5 in HSC, had a very good SAT score, had a very good recommendation letter, had solid interview performance. So all of those together, they allowed him to get it. Now, obviously, it's going to be more competitive this year than last year, as we see the number of applications are also increasing. But if you are a solid student, listen, I mean, you don't have to get the super KUAS scholarship. I mean, the difference between the 100% and that is that pays for the living expense as well. Now, if you work in Japan, you can work 28 hours a week as an international student. Living expense you can pay through your part-time work as well. So it's not a big deal. And a big part of your tuition fee also during the summer when you work can be paid. Now, and the internship opportunity that you mentioned, Mr. Takeda, was it is it paid internship? For the capstone project, if they're doing the internship.
Internship usually is not paid in Japan, and generally speaking. Unfortunately, fortunately, actually are non-paid internship usually in Japan.
Okay, so yeah, if you're doing an internship, the idea is you're gaining experience. You're working on a project, you're learning, so it's part of your learning. I know of many students who has got paid internships, but most of the cases it's not a paid internship. How much easy is it to do masters or getting job in Canada, US after graduating from KUAS?
Okay. I don't. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm not so sure about the job prospects in Canada, Canada or also US. Personally, I used to work in Washington D.C. on the New York and in different areas, and sorry, I'm not so sure about currently job prospect in the Canada, US.
Actually, it's this question. I think you have to have a work permit or a citizenship to work in Canada, US. As far as the validity of the degree is concerned, there is no question about it. It's a government approved degree, so there is no problem. But the thing is, in order to work in Canada or US independently, you need to have like a citizenship or a work permit. Now, To do a master's, obviously, if you're doing an government approved undergraduate degree in Japan, you can definitely use it to get a master's anywhere else. So if you want to go to Canada or US after your undergraduate degree, that should be no problem at all. The same person also asked, do you count the whole SAT marks for considering for scholarship?
Oh, yes, no, definitely, definitely.
Because the next question is, another student asks, can I submit my SAT math score only?
No, usually our my SAT scores are combined with the reasoning test. And you can't really you can really make them separate.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think the reason the question was asked is probably the student had a very good math score, but not as good an English score. Maybe that's why.
Okay.
But don't worry about it, because they will look into it. That they understand that math obviously is much more important, and as long as you have a very good IELTS score, that will cover the English part. But they will look at everything. They will look at the whole overall score, and obviously, if somebody has 1500 in SAT, they are going to be looked at a higher level than somebody who has a 1400 in SAT, even if both of you have 800 in maths. You know what I mean? So obviously that's there. Does Super KUAS covers all living expense, or do we spend some money? I guess you have already answered that.
Yes, and super cool. Yes, I already answered. I think I've answered the questions.
Yeah. So how much effect ECAs can, I mean, I think what the question was, the person was asking is, does ECAs matter when you're looking at scholarships? And if so, how much?
Very sorry to ask you, Mr. Manzurno, what is an
Oh,
ECA?
extracurricular activities.
Oh, okay.
Like, for
Extracurricular.
example,
Okay,
leadership.
I got
Yeah.
it. ECAs, yes, definitely. I looking at, or we will looking into or the extracurricular activities and levels. And also, if you are, let's say, if you're a champion of some math competition or computer competition, definitely, they will count for you. They'll be counted for you, definitely.
So is KUAS a part of Kyoto University? I guess we might as well, clarify this point.
The answer is no. KUS is the independent independent private university, the Kyoto University of Advanced Science, which is a totally different entities from the Kyoto University, which is a
Exactly.
national university.
Um, is SAT needed if I? Oh, sorry. Is SAT needed if I have good grades in A levels?
Oh, if you no, you don't have to sit for SAT. And if you have already good grades in A levels, your A level scores and that will be counted for you straight away.
So Abdullah Mahi, the person who asked about the SAT, I think we guessed it, because he was asking whether he can submit only math scores, because as my English score is not good, but my Duolingo is above the threshold score for KUAS. That's why he was. Listen, Mahi, just give your whole SAT score. Let them decide on what is yeah. And as you said, you have decent ECAs, including NASA's International App Making Challenge. So that those are solid extracurricular activities. I would strongly encourage you to apply. I think this brings us to almost to the end of the questions we have so far. Listen, if you want to apply to KUAS, the next deadline is January 14th. But the late application deadline is, I think, March 8th. That one starts on February 14th. Now, the first thing is to make sure that you apply properly. So, all the essays, all everything, all the documents, if you can manage it within a week, I would strongly encourage you to apply during the regular admission, because I think that would be very helpful. And then if you cannot, then of course there is the final entry deadline. We have three branches at Maces. So one is in Dhanmondi, one is in Gulshan, and one is in Sylhet. You can give us a call at 017-5566-0803, and then contact us for application to these universities, and we can help you with that. We have a dedicated team in place to help you with your essays. So once you do your essay, we can check it for you. We can check we don't have any fees, so we don't charge any fees for our students. We do take a security deposit, which we refund back in full once you accept your offer. So we help you with the application. We help you by preparing. We will not write your essays, but once you write your essays, we have resources in place to check the essays. And also, for the visa, we have 100% success rate with visa, so we can guide you with that as well. Anyway, you can contact us by Facebook, you can message us, you can call us, and you can email us as well. Mr. Takeda, thank you so much for giving your valuable time. I think this has been a great this is a great opportunity, especially a lot of students are interested in applying to Japanese universities, and especially from Bangladesh. I think engineering is a very popular subject. So through KUAS, we can give this opportunity to our students and create these experiences. Obviously, we are going through some troubled times with the COVID, and hopefully we can go through those things.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for inviting having me here today, Mr. Manzoor. Listeners, thank you very much for staying with us for whole time. Thank you very much. I have just important message that I'd like to convey you before wrapping up on this session. First message is are those students who are admitted through a Macy's last year at KUAS have been doing very well in terms of everything, in terms of academic achievements and also academic activities. And even though they couldn't make it and can't make it into Japan physically, because we are engineering schools, so specializing in how to or create or develop a class online in a professional way for anywhere students anywhere in the world. So just be relieved, feel relieved. Whatever happens in the future, you're going to have exactly the same quality of engineering education that you would physically online in the KUAS. Okay, and
So
also
the last question, Mr. Takeda, that came is, how many students got Super KUAS scholarship in early admission for KUAS? I know one BD student got in for early. Does it mean further BD students won't get the top scholarship?
okay. Sorry, would you say again?
So how many students got the Super KUAS scholarship in early admission for KUAS?
Okay.
That I think is private information, but I don't know. But I know one BD student got in for early. Does it mean further BD students won't get the top scholarship?
No. I mean, to answer your questions, sorry, I wish I could divulge in the top secret information immediately, but I'm not allowed to make that information public anytime. To answer your questions, there will be anytime the top scholarship available for those who deserve deserve the scholarship and at any entry window.
Exactly. So it's not about one has been given, so one other one cannot be given. It's about whether the candidate during that admission has it's not like, okay, let's say there are 10 applications, and let's say the best application has doesn't have a very great SAT score or very good results or something like that, they will not give the super KUAS scholarship to that person. So it doesn't work like that. But if there are three applications who are really good, are superstar, and all everything, then they will be getting it. So it's about whether that particular candidate deserve the super KUAS scholarship, and of course that is determined by the university and their admissions people, whether they'll get it or not. But to answer your question, even the next entry and the further one, if you apply, you can still avail those chances.
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Takeda, I had interrupted you when you were saying the last comment. Did you have anything to say?
Oh no, nothing else to add actually. I hope everyone. I hope they. I hope you are interested. I hope you are interested in applying for KUS. Don't get discouraged to apply apply for KUS. For whatever reason, Japan may be a very strange, may be a very new and unique country to you. But like I said, we already KUS alone already have multiple Bangladeshi students last year through Macy's. So you are not going to be alone. You're not going to be the only students who are admitted to KUS and having no friends around. And actually, you're going to have Bangladeshi friends and for upper class members. So just feel relieved.
And I
Just
can tell you,
feel
like some of the students, I mean, the students who got in, they are all A students, usually, all A's in A levels, really good extracurricular activities, good SAT scores. So, I mean, they're very selective in their choices, and the students have been really good. So, we're really grateful to our students who came through us and applied, and of course, essays and things like that. Um, Thank you so much, Mr. Takeda. For those of our students who listened in, thank you so much for spending the time. I hope you will apply. Please feel free to get in touch with us, Dhanmondi, Gulshan, or Sylhet. We have the resources in place to assist you during the application process. It's free of charge. We don't charge anything. We take a security deposit, which we refund back in full when you accept your offer. That is something that you can take advantage of. And yeah, best of luck to everybody. Please keep safe and healthy. Wear a mask, I guess.